My name is Oscar, and I help people raise their vibration and share their gift with the world. And in this video, we're going to look at how you can overcome comparison and jealousy when you're starting out your business. Now, I feel a bit like an imposter when I'm standing here in front of you because I was really feeling like I didn't want to make a video. I've sworn to myself I'm gonna make a video each day, but this day, of some kind of reason, it was just hard. You know, not having any comments on my videos, no likes yet, on my last one. I know you shouldn't care about these things because it's all about the process, but yet, you know, before I didn't really care that much about YouTube and all of these things. But now when I go in there, I start understanding the degree of marketing, the degree of like ingenuity and creativity that people have put in order to like catch other people's attention. And it's astounding, when you look at it. It's like, and you take it for granted. You see these 100,000 or 30,000 views or 1 million or whatever, right? Because it's viral. But there's a lot of strategy and a lot of ideas that goes into this. And when you just scroll through all these thumbnails, it's almost like you get overwhelmed. You're like, why would people listen to me? Why would it even make the slightest difference of all the things that is out there, right? My mind starts to immediately compare myself, right? Start to look down on myself. I might even fall into jealousy because of seeing how other people are getting things to work, right? And I know that it's just my mind that's playing a trick. It's like my inner judge that I talked about in my last video is looking down on you and says like, look, you shouldn't even care, you shouldn't even try, right? You're a failure no matter what. So what I want to get into here when it comes to comparison and jealousy and all of that, it's like we forget where we come from. We forget our uniqueness, and we become hung up upon there's a specific preference of how we should be and what is appropriate, right? Has to do with the conditions that we're getting from society, the conditions that other people are saying, oh, we should or shouldn't be that. So one of the ways of getting out of comparison is to understand and respect your own uniqueness. Because there is no one like you, right? If you've ever done something that's called human design, or you're taking an astrology, you've gone to an astrologer who's taking out your profile, in a 25 or 26,000 years, there will never be a person that will be born with the exact same ways when the constellations, the planets, everyone, or like everything is looking the way it did when you were born. Not in 26,000 years. That's a long time. So there's a specific thing inside of you that needs to be released. And your uniqueness, your things that you've gone throughout your entire life, that's what makes you an expert at the people you're talking to. Because of your understanding that you've accumulated inside of yourself. So remember your uniqueness. That's one of the key things. The other thing is to become aware consciously inside of your body what is happening when you're looking upon another, right? What is happening inside of you as you're, like for me, I saw these thumbnails, but for you, you might see a man with another woman, or you might see someone driving a better car than you, or whatever it is, right? What is happening inside of you? Because again, I mean, if we're gonna be completely honest, it is still a mirror, right? It is still a mirror, regardless of what it makes us feel. It is telling us something about ourselves. And we can choose to listen to that initial voice that says like, oh, you're never gonna do it. You're never gonna, live up to your expectations. You're never gonna get there. Or we can prod deeper and we can notice what are the emotions that we're feeling, right? Are we feeling incapable? Are we feeling sad? Are we feeling worthless? Now as I'm standing here in front of my camera, I think it's like the 40th video or something like that. And I should really celebrate that it flows quite naturally, Now I don't even have a script. Well, perhaps I haven't thought out this video as appropriate as before, but I'm standing here, I'm not nervous, I'm talking to you, I can show myself, I dare to expose myself and what is going on inside of me. It feels quite good to say. It's like, you know what? I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. Because honestly, this is imperfect action. It's like we're never arriving, If you ever listen to Alan Watts, he has this beautiful like story that he goes into, right? Someone goes into society and get top grades, get the job, get the girlfriend, and get the house, and the dog and the children and the car, right? And then they come to the 40 years old, and then they say, I have arrived. And you feel somewhat cheated, as he says, right? It's like it never stops. And that's nothing to be depressed about. It's just understanding that life is constantly moving us forward. So, of course, there will always be someone who's behind us, and there will always be someone who is ahead of us, whatever we make that mean. But it's not to forget that we are still eternally worthy, right? We have an eternal value. We are exactly as much valuable as they are. And what it really comes down to is us doing the things that we are convinced that we want to do. The commitments that we said to ourselves that we're gonna hold. And also, a very practical kind of view or way is that before I sat, I stood up, or before I now make this video, I sat down and I really allowed my mind, my my emotions to flow to the aggression and the anger and the frustration that I felt around. It's like, oh, now I'm gonna make another video. Why does it even matter? You know, I flowed into that. I allowed myself to feel it completely. And here we are. I'm standing here in front of the camera. It might not be the best, but it's still a video. It still counts. Still okay. And to be frank, most of the time, people edit their videos to craziness and they post what is appropriate, right? So we, most of the time, we just see the expression of the sides that we deem as the right ones to show, right? We're seeing that someone has the shit together, and that's attractive, right? Our comparison instantly goes into, it's like, that's right, that's wrong. But that's not how it's supposed to be. We do not have to compare ourselves in that way. It's just not necessary. We can trust in who we are. And honestly, the more vulnerable someone is, I guess the more people trust them. Because then we're not this, person who has their everything figured out. So I guess that's what I want to say with this video. Comparison. First of all, remember your uniqueness. Understand that it's the inner judge inside of you that's constantly looking upon one thing as right and the other one as wrong. And society is telling you that this is how you're supposed to be and this is how you're not supposed to be. And you bought that as a child, right? It became your defense mechanism. You made sure that you are in the right way because then people won't judge you. Yet we live with this ache inside of us where we're saying, oh, I can just show the positive parts to the world. It's like if a guy walks up to a woman and he's afraid, or he is shaking, or he stumble on his words. Doesn't matter how this guy is really successful. He has his shit together. He's helped people and all of these things, right? He still stumbles on the words, and he comes across a little bit quirky, and so the woman judges him based on that first impression. Snap judgment, and then on to the next one, right? It's like, it's a brutal world in that way, because we say to ourselves that the flaws are not okay, the mistakes are not appreciated. But if we do not appreciate mistakes in others, we cannot appreciate them in ourselves either, right? And the judgments we make upon others will come back and bite us. So look at what you're judging others about, and perhaps you will start to see that you won't judge yourself as harshly when you let go of that judgment. All right. And also, obviously, look at what are the emotions you're feeling. What are the thoughts that's coming to your head when you're sensing this comparison starting? And start to make an inquiry into that. Start understanding what are the emotions, what are the thoughts, and allow yourself to feel it fully. Because I promise there will be something that shows up by you doing it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Please comment below about what your ideas around comparison and jealousy, and I'll see you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, and joy to all of you. Bye for now.